Hey, good morning. It is Wednesday, time for your wellness tip, and today I want to talk about clearing the clutter. And if you don't know me, I'm Kristin Wood, and I like to come on every Wednesday and give you a super simple tip that when you implement with consistency, you are going to see some changes in your health and wellness. And today we're talking about clearing the clutter. And you may be thinking, what does clearing the clutter have to do with health and wellness? Well, you've got to get out the old to make way for the new. And this accounts for new thoughts, new relationships, and those relationships may just be a new relationship with yourself. So I've got 3 areas that I'm going to give you that you can focus on doing some clearing the clutter in. And I'm really excited to see what you take away from this, what areas you want to work on. So I've kind of got a lot of information, so we're just going to get started. The first area is your environment. Now this is everything around you and in you. So when you think about your environment, think about your mindset, because you have got to clear away so that new ideas can come into your life. If you are stuck in the old ideas of what's possible for yourself, then that may be blocking you. So do a little mindset clearing. And then our whole environment, our home. The kitchen is a big area that we accumulate clutter because we spend a lot of time there. And think outside the box a little bit. So what kind of gadgets have you bought that maybe you used for a little while, but now they're just shoved in the back of a cabinet and you don't use them anymore? Maybe you thought it was going to be a good thing and you just never really used the item to its potential. It may be time to clear some things out and sell them, or just get rid of them if they're broke. I know I happen to be a collector of a few things that don't work. So it may just be time to clear out those things. You've also got your cabinets that have food in them. So for me, I decided that I wanted to watch the gluten and limit the amount of gluten that I had in my diet. One of the things I did was went through my cabinets, through my pantry, and pulled out everything that contained gluten. Because you don't know what you don't know until you know it. And I was really surprised at some of the things that I was using that had gluten in them that I would have had no idea that was something that was affecting me. So pull everything out. Maybe you decided you wanted to cut back on sugar. Pull out everything that has sugar in it and you would be surprised at what you're going to find. And then once you see what you have, you can decide, am I going to throw that away? Am I going to donate it? Am I going to use it up in the next couple weeks? And is it something that you use consistently that you need to find another option for? So that was one big area that I could focus on. What do I need to find gluten-free alternatives? Also in your kitchen, you might have that catch-all area that the mail gets thrown. Just all kinds of stuff gets thrown. We certainly have our counter area. Maybe time to clean that up, throw some things away. As well as if you've got a home office, you may find that when you can't figure out where something goes in the house, you just stick it in the home office and figure out later where to put it. So clean up your home office. Maybe it's your office at work. Are you getting a stack of magazines and paperwork that needs attention? Clearing that up is really going to help your mental energy when you sit down to work. And then another environment area is your emails. It's really easy to shop online. But when you do that, you often get automatic sales notices, newsletters, and it can be something that pings your email daily, if not, maybe it's just weekly or monthly, but a lot of them are daily. So go through and unsubscribe to 5 things. Just pick 5 things this week that you don't ever even open and stop those emails from coming to you. Now, the second area I want to talk about is your schedule, because there is not enough time for everything, but there is time for the most important things. And I want that to sink in a little bit, because when you say yes to something, you are actually saying no to something else. So you got to stop and think, the things that you're saying yes to, are they the things that are feeding your top priorities in life? Because if they're not, then that's where we start feeling overwhelmed and just buried alive by commitments that we don't really want to do. So I challenge you, this week, can you look at your schedule, and in the next 7 days, can you find anything that you're really dreading, that you really wish you would not have committed to do, and cancel it? Just reach out to whoever is in charge of it and let them know that you've got a scheduling conflict and it's not going to work. You can't attend. Now, you don't have to explain yourself. Just saying you've got a scheduling conflict, you deserve time for you, and that is a scheduling conflict. Another area is, where could you delegate? I know I'm a big one on, if I want it done, I might as well do it myself and make sure it's done right. But that does nothing but eat up my energy. And I'm really trying to stop and realize that just because someone doesn't do it in my exact steps doesn't mean that the end product isn't going to be acceptable. So where can you delegate something this week? And then another thing, and this is one of the juiciest nuggets I'm going to give you today, is freeing up energy by not fixing others. I don't know if you really understand how much time you spend every day with mental energy on trying to fix someone else's problems. So I've got 3 questions for you. The next time you find yourself stressed out, just down, or any kind of mental issue going on because you are worried about something, trying to find a solution for something, I've got 3 questions for you. I want you to ask yourself, is this my problem, my very own problem? Is this someone else's problem? Or is this God's problem? And when you ask those questions, it's going to be pretty obvious if it's your problem, someone else's problem, or God's problem. If it's not your problem, you have complete permission to let it go. You have to let it go because you can't solve someone else's problem or God's problem. The only problems you can take care of are your own. So when you can free yourself up by not trying to fix a problem that's not yours to fix, you are going to be surprised at how much energy this really saves you. So you may think that's totally silly, but just try it. And when it works, you can send me a message and thank me for that little tip. I love it. It's definitely made a difference for me. Now, the third area I want to talk about is money. And this is kind of taboo, that people don't like to talk about money. But what kind of habits are you showing the universe? What are you showing the universe how you feel about money? Are you having the money habits of someone that has financial freedom? I 100% believe that you get back from the universe what you put out to it. So when you are saying, "Oh, I don't have the money for that," the universe says you don't have the money for that. So if there's something you really want, maybe it's time to quit saying you don't have the money for that, and I'm going to look at where I could get the money for that, what I can do. Have you looked at your budget? Are there places you're spending money on things that are absolutely doing nothing for your health, your wellness, your financial future? There's a lot of places that money gets wasted daily. I personally don't drink soda, so I don't have that problem. But my husband would definitely tell you that I don't need another black shirt. But if I go shopping, I'm probably going to buy a black shirt. So we all have our issue on where it is that we waste money, pretty much waste money. So look at where you're spending money, and is it really where you need to be spending money? And then another thing is check your credit card statements, check your bank accounts. What are the things that are automatically coming out of your account monthly? Do you really know what they are? And are you really taking advantage of that service? You know, are you paying for a gym that you never use? Are you paying for multiple video streaming options and you have your favorite and you're really not using the others? Look at where you can maybe weed out some expenses, and it never hurts to do some shopping around on things like insurance and make sure that you're getting the best rate possible for yourself. So those are some money areas that you can kind of clean up the clutter in. And I'm really excited to know what you think, what area you want to focus on this week, and what is something that maybe you had heard before but you hadn't really done anything with. Where are you going to take action? Because that is where you start making results, is once you take action. So let me know what you're doing, because I would love to cheer you on. And if you know somebody that could maybe use this information, there's a little button above that you can push so that they can get the information too. You know what to do. And I will be back next Wednesday with another tip for you. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.